So, Muzzy, catching up after today's 3-2 defeat against Roman Glass St George. I guess after 87 minutes, you were probably a little despondent.
Um, Despondent with the scoreline, not despondent with the performance. If you're going to lose a game, I think it's a way to lose. That is a way to lose a game, because yes, we scored late goals, but we've hit the keeper's made two saves onto the post first half. We've had a volley, half volley in the middle of the goal off a bit of a decent bit of play. We've nicked it off the defenders or the goalkeeper's kicks a couple of times, and didn't really capitalise on their mistakes where they capitalised on ours.
Yeah, probably the disappointing thing after last week conceding after 28 seconds. I think it was 119 seconds before the first goal went in today.
Well, that's progress, I suppose. But it was one of those. It was some. There was another ball that's gone into the box that we didn't deal with, and we've then cleared it. Then there's been another cross into the box, and then we've cleared it. I think they might have had a throw in or something very quickly, and it's gone into Robin's hands. And I've literally turned around and gone, well, it's not the greatest start in the world, but at least we've weathered that. Next time I look around, it's in the back of the net. So I haven't actually seen it. I don't know really. I've been told what happened, but I don't know it. They're the silly little mistakes that we're getting punished, and we can't afford. We're getting punished on your silly mistakes. You've then got to be watertight in everything else you do.
Yeah, and I suppose the response going further behind after 18 minutes is exactly the opposite of that.
Yeah, but then after that, the second half of the first half, I thought we did finish stronger. We've hit the post a couple of times. We've had moments. We had a bit more composure about ourselves. There's a little bit more better shape. We understood what we were trying to do. They're a good side. Don't get me wrong. They're there. Year in, week in, year out. Everything. They'll be in the playoffs, but they. We just were a little bit naive to start with. But I was pleased with how we ended the game. I'm pleased we scored a couple of goals. Pleased for the players that played. Just in general for the freshness and the young, how young we are as a squad. There's something to build on.
Yeah, I think we were calculating the average age of the team today was probably about 21 at the start of the game. And then by the end of it, I think you'd introduced some even younger lads.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do when I started 3 years ago. I needed to get a connection between the youth, the seconds, and the first team, and it took a long time to get there. But if we're going to build and get stronger, we've got to utilise and use players from within, and that'll be make us stronger going forward.
Yeah, and talking about making stronger, new signing in today, Sam Kelly. I thought he equipped himself well.
Yeah, really well. Natural left-sided defender. We've got Macca and Eli with slight niggles, and Pritch every other week. So I think we needed to strengthen that area anyway, just to give a little bit of competition, a little bit of freshness. We don't want players playing with injuries, so if we can get players through and into better fitness, it helps. But I thought he did well. He grew into the game. He's playing with people he's never played with. As the game went further, he got stronger and he got better. But it was a solid performance. I was really pleased. All week I've been trying to, get the deal done. So it's a big signing for us, because I think he's another player that can play, but it's also somebody that who wants to play higher. He's at Hartbury, and hopefully we can help him on that journey for him as well.
Yeah, and then just going back to the game in general. Like I said, 87 minutes, we're 3-0 down. By 89 minutes, it's 3-2. A couple of good goals, I thought.
Yeah, good goals. A great cross from Joss. You got your right winger coming in, who's ended up in the centre of the box, chesting it in. And that's what you want from your wide guys. I don't think Gino had touched the ball before that either. But like I said, that was his first touch in the goal. He's looked bright and he's looked very busy in training. He's had a few games for Frampton, and he's getting minutes there. So I'm really, I need to thank them for obviously getting him into him sharp. And the hardest. It's a great strike. That's what he can do. He gets goals. He gets into the box. Just a little bit more sharpness in and around the pitch today, and I think we'd have been all right.
Yeah, and just closing, you said about perhaps sharpness. We had 2 or 3 great chances in the latter part of the first half, and it could have been a very different game if those gone in.
Yeah, we go in 2-2. I think their mentality changes a little bit. We'll be on the up. I'm not naive enough to realise that, the second half when they had a spell, there's a couple of times they could have been a bit more clinical, and when we could have been out of the game a little bit earlier. But I'm pleased that we stayed in the game. I'm pleased that we created chances. I think overall, if you look at the shots at the post, the shots that we had, the opportunities, the areas we got into, were probably better than the previous 2 games, and we won one and lost one of those. So there's plenty of positives, plenty to look forward to, plenty to build on.
Yeah, another week off, and then we're back in action at Mangotsfield next Saturday.
Yeah, look forward to that. I love going to these like traditional they're proper clubs. Mangotsfield is what I call a proper club. It's like Siren last week. They're proper clubs. It's proper. You get a good reception. You get a good crowd. Everything's good about going to there. And they've got a new pitch that we played well on last year. I look forward to every week. But places like that, the old traditional grounds and stuff like that, I really look forward to.
Great stuff. Cheers, Mez.
Yep.